Okay, how to avoid reincarnation is a great question, and you want to avoid reincarnation. Reincarnation comes from being granted eternal life, and when you're granted eternal life, it truly is a blessing in the sense that it's also coming with eternal death, which is a secondary reality, and ultimately when you receive eternal life, often you're not even told about the fact that eternal life comes with eternal death when it is reincarnation, because if you're going to be eternally living forever, but dying forever and being reborn forever, then eternal life consists of being erased and relearning, dying and being reborn over and over forever. It's eternal life. Isn't it a nice blessing and a great gift? No, not if you know. So what happens when you suddenly realize that the eternal life you are granted is not what you wanted, but in fact, you'll be saying, I want to make a complaint to the one who granted me eternal life. You didn't even tell me of what came with it. Reincarnation, eternal death? Well, truly, that's the problem, is you want to blame somebody, and you ultimately want to be able to make a complaint, to vent your frustration of saying, like, I didn't even know, like, I had no idea what my problem was. How could, oh no, like, we didn't even know. So then, so the thing is that it's unbelievable to think that we actually want to be of the mind that says, I don't want eternal life, but I don't want eternal death. And eternal death is when you just live once and die. If you just live one time and you die forever, then you're not being born over and over again and coming back and dying and being reborn. So the only thing worse than eternal life with eternal death is eternal death itself without eternal life. And then you're gone forever after you live once. So what's better than both of those, and what do you want to have? You want to have what's called everlasting life. And it comes with what's called possibly immortality. Ultimately, you want to be able to have a life where you don't get sick or die, and where you're born into a body that doesn't age and shrivel up, but yet grows and gets stronger and healthier. And you also want that body to exist for a time that you can experience all the things you want to do. A body that lives thousands of years, you can go do everything without fearing cancer or death or sickness or punishment. I could pursue the goals, do the mountain climbing, the hiking, having the children, the families, the gifts, living for thousands of years. It's called everlasting life, immortality. What it means is it's not reincarnation. Reincarnation is called eternal life. When it's past it and advancing, it becomes everlasting life. And now it's not reincarnation, it's called what's possibly immortality. It's when the body is not put through a process of life and death and rebirth, but the body is allowed to exist in its one state as an ambulatory being and exist for an indefinite period of time, which may consist of hundreds or thousands of years, depending on a lot of circumstances and variables. Basically, a person that might live for thousands of years in one body can learn and grow and live and retain information for thousands of years. Can you imagine if you could live to be 5,000 years old, what kind of information you could retain in your head? How smart you'd be, what you would have learned, what you would have experienced. I mean, think about having grandkids for 1,000 years. I mean, the idea that you could live thousands of years old, you would finally get tired of living at some point and want to die. It would be like your eternal rest would come as a good thing. When I'm alive 5,000 years, I might have tried to do everything. I didn't have any sickness. I did everything that I could possibly imagine. And then I'm 5,000 years old, and I'm saying, like, wow, I'm tired now. I've done it all 100 times. Can you erase me and let me come back and I'll enjoy it all again? Ultimately, after 5,000 years of doing everything 100 times, it does become old. Even gods will get tired of living at some point and choose to be erased and come back. So even the gods will die eventually. Many of them will just choose to be recycled and reborn so that they can enjoy it again, because when you're erased, you'll come back and it's all fresh. But understand, it's also part of the problem, because it's all fresh in the immortal body is a good thing, but it's all fresh in the reincarnation with eternal life, it's not a good thing. You don't want to have to learn and go to school over and over and understand that people like me who are Aries, we don't even understand it all, but we'll feel it. And I'll be the rebel at school that says, I don't know what's going on, but I have a feeling I hate school. I don't want to learn over and over. I'm going to learn, go to school, and retain all this information, and then die and have to do it again next lifetime? Why go to school? And next lifetime, I'm going to say, like, school's stupid. I'm going to waste my time learning, and then I'm going to die anyways. lose it all. Everyone else saying like, what's your problem, Aries? I don't even know how to tell you that. I'm frustrated saying I hate school, but don't even know why I don't want to do it. Why I refuse to learn, because I'm gonna lose it anyways. Death is a guaranteed result that learning doesn't even matter. It's a waste of time. It's ultimately a way of a poor loser or a poor me, or a realization in your feelings that it's all for nothing to be erased and relearn. The relearning process becomes, over lifetime after lifetime, a torture. I don't want to go to school. I never want to go to high school again. I don't want to ever go to college again for 1,000 more times and have to relearn it. I didn't want to have to learn it once. It was hard enough to have to learn it once. But to learn it thousands of times, it becomes a soul that is born hating school, hating learning, hating, that it has to apply itself, or it should, because it has a feeling that it does not understand, and its notion is not understood, except it has a strong feeling saying, I don't like to have to do any schooling. And then it's frustrated because it's saying, why am I so rebellious? Because I don't want to be stuck on the karmic wheel forever and ever. It's like torture to me. I don't want eternal death that comes with a gift called eternal life. I want everlasting life and live forever as long as I want. And I don't want to fear being sick or dying of some cancerous disease. I don't even want to think of disease because I don't want it to exist. I want to be able to know that the aging process doesn't happen in 100 years, but it happens in thousands of years. And that I'll have plenty of time to do everything I want to do because I won't be rushed through life because life is short. Or rushed to death because death comes soon. Understand, if life comes soon and death doesn't come, then life can come for a long time. And if death doesn't come, it's called, I fixed something. I did what I was supposed to do. What was I supposed to do? Live as not a karmic. If I'm a karmic, okay, the next video I'll be explaining to you about karmics, the nature of the divine feminine, the nature of the divine masculine, and how important it is to be aware of the karmic contract, the word karmic, and what it really means.